Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Carter James Ranch. Happy Pi Day. For those of you that aren't math folks, March 14th is Pi 3.14. So wanted to give a quick update on where we've kind of ended with our land clearing project. Sorry if there's a little wind here, got a little breezy. We got a number of burn piles that have ended up across the property, but we've accomplished something really great, I think, in opening up the view here of the pond. Obviously we have some other big burn piles that we need to address at some point, but we probably took down, there are probably 60 small trees in here that we were able to remove. Took out some pretty big ones as well, but really happy. Last week we really struggled with moisture coming, which we had leased the big excavator, so we only had that for a number of days, and the ground has just been so saturated that we would get a quarter inch of rain and it would feel like we got 4 inches of rain. So it was really kind of a struggle, but you know, that machine would just tear up the landslide or the landscape, especially over here. We are going to do one more day with a small piece of equipment to smooth out all this over here, but really happy with how this has turned out. We've freed up a lot of ground, a lot of burn piles we're gonna have to burn. That one that was I just showed you that's smoking, I tried lighting it this morning and used probably about six gallons of diesel, and it just would not light. It's been kind of smoking all day like that, burning a little bit internally. I think the wood is still just too wet from it being green and the moisture that we've got. So we're going to be waiting a few days, and then we'll try to get these burned up, especially while the ground is moist. Cuts down the fire hazards. But I wanted to continue to show, we actually had a huge locust tree that was blocking the backside of the barn that we were able to take out. So I hate those honey locust trees. They've got just gigantic spikes. It's dangerous to try to cut those trees down if they fall on you. I mean, some of those spikes were 2-3 inches long, and I was worried about the cattle, you know, catching one in the eye, stepping on a thorn, that kind of stuff. So this is where we normally move them down. If you watch the channel for any amount of time, this is where we walk them across the pond. And again, this has all been opened up once we get rid of these burn piles and get it burned. But today was kind of cleanup, trying to make this real usable, trying to shape the ground. Before, this was the path going down, and then there was a big hillside right here that had a ton of little trees. Now all that's been cleared away. So we are supposed to get some rain on Thursday. I'm a little nervous how much running that will happen. I'm thinking about trying to get some hay down tomorrow before the rain, throw some seed down, get some hay down, just to maybe prevent any erosion. But we've kind of been reshaping this so everything doesn't just go totally downhill, but kind of slopes down towards the pond. So if you've watched the channel, I've shown us moving the cattle here. We used to have some huge big trees right here on this corner. We've just totally opened this up. What we've also done from a recreational standpoint is we're making the pond so much more accessible. Before, this whole bank was completely, you know, covered in trees. We had trees that had fallen over that were in the pond. We were able to fish a lot of those out. And so it's just going to be a lot more user friendly. There's still lots of work to do here in cleaning this side up, as far as smoothing it out, making it inhabitable. With the chainsaw, I'll be able to take down those little chutes that are amongst the rock, which is really probably why he couldn't get it with the excavator. We were doing a lot of work on the other side of the dam there. I was hoping to clear up a lot. Back there, we ran to it's too low lying of an area. Lots of mud back there. We kind of pulled off, and to my disappointment, I didn't realize the city actually owns a property that's behind us. It's fenced off, but they've not fenced in their entire property. So their property line actually comes, kind of jogs into the ranch. And so we actually cleared, about half that day was probably spent clearing some of the city's land. So looking at the map, I had just forgotten that, and just assumed that it was where the fences were. So that was kind of a waste. So City of Paola, if you're gonna sell that, you should sell it to me, since we already spent half a day clearing it. Anyhow, but look, this was, you couldn't even see through here before. So we've really cleared this up. This is getting nice and smooth. Get some seed down, roll out some hay, get the cattle stomping on this, and we'll get some grass, hopefully on a hill. Always tough to get stuff on a hill, but we've opened up so many trees. Now the sunlight is actually going to hit the ground. Before, you wouldn't get too much sun coming back here because of the mass number of trees. I showed this before that was over here. It's always amazing how many tires you find on these old farm properties. I can probably see about 12 tires over there in that pile. So you find all kinds of junk that people have just dumped over time. So the company we use, John Meyer Construction, really happy with what they've been able to do here. I mean, I just love this view. Looking at really just, it's a beautiful view on the pond, and it's going to make, it just makes everything so much more usable, so for the cattle. So I'm pretty excited about that. Bear with me as I walk over here a little bit. Still a little bit muddy. I think this hillside will collect some water just as it drains down. So I will be interested to see how easy it is to get grass to grow over here. This burn pile we lit yesterday, it's been kind of smoldering, and again, we couldn't get it to get going, but it's kind of been petering along. So I'm gonna walk this other side of the hill, and then I'll show you what we did over there. All right, sorry if I'm huffing and puffing. So before, the pasture ended about right here, and then we just had trees and everything going back. So lots of huge burn piles. We've opened up all this space. Still, it's not perfect. It'll take some cleanup, leveling out. Again, you talk about junk you find. Lots of old metal. Who knows how long that's been there. Let me walk the other side of this burn pile. I mean, look how big these things are. It's huge. You know, burn piles, something like this size, it'll take days to burn it. And that's assuming you don't got to put it out because of high winds or whatnot. So this is the back pasture, and we've got this fence right here that really needs to be redone. Like most projects, the more you do with cleanup, the more it is exposed how bad. I mean, this fence is awful. It didn't look as bad when it was covered by trees, but now that it's getting exposed, you can just see how bad it is leaning over. But this whole fence line was cleared out. We did use right over here on the other side of this fence, and then we'd run the cattle through that fence up there, and then use that center part of that pasture. But all this stuff down here has been cleared out. So we probably opened up, I bet you at least 2 acres in that corner there that we'll be able to run down along the railroad track, get some grass growing. So obviously this is all once we get these burn piles gone. We'll push down where we can, burn them out. So really, really happy. Again, John Meyer Construction, they're out of Missouri. Great to work with. So if you're looking for some land clearing, I would highly recommend them. Let us know that the Carter James Ranch referred you. But love to get good folks some more business. Was happy with what they did. And like I said, we got one more day coming back with them to smooth out that hillside. So one of my comments in a previous video was, if you can't buy more of it, clear it. We've just made this property a lot more useful for our purposes and made it a lot more beautiful. Just from personally, really like being here, a lot more looking at these views. So I know the cattle are gonna really benefit from all of our removal here. Not sure when we'll be able to graze it. Probably gonna be a couple months. You know, we'll probably move the cattle through here and roll out some hay. They may graze a little bit in here, but there's really nothing here for them. We'll probably just pass through here on our way to the other side of the pond to graze over there. So that's where we ended up. Looks like our fire over there is, I can hear it popping internally, which is good. It's always nice, these burn piles will just continue burning internally, and then they'll kind of collapse on themselves and get a little smaller. So, well, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Hope you guys have a great day, and God bless.